around tonight, Dale? W8AL.
We'll start up the Wednesday night net. Station's monitoring. Stand by for traffic.
W8 MBO.
QN.
Stand by. I need to get my sign-in sheet. Okay, apologize for the delay. This is an XHA net control for the Canton Amateur Radio Club, Wednesday night net. I will now take check-ins. Check-ins. I heard Tom, MNT, and who else?
W8 ISS.
QN.
Sorry, say again. Okay, after John, ISS, I heard just 3 letters. Say call sign, please. Okay, I've got Tom and John. Any others?
Kilo 8, Papa India November.
Kilo 8, Papa India November. Looking for you on the list here. It's Dirk. I know that. Gotcha. Next.
King Fox 8, United Norway. Kilo.
KF8UN, Byron. Okay, thanks for the check-in. Next.
KV8PRK.
Ted. K Bravo 8PRK, Ted. Gotcha. Next.
This is KG8RRY, Jerry at Maslin, KG8RRY.
Loud and clear, Jerry. Next.
W8 MBO.
MBO, Fred. I thought I heard you earlier. It was a little down in the mud, but we got you good. MBO, Fred, you're in the log.
N8PW.
And that would be Bill. Mr. Hannon, good evening to you, Bill. The others tonight. Well, I'll go down the list I have. I'll ask you all if you have any traffic for the net. And short traffic, please. Then after the first go-around, we'll come around again, and everyone will be able to do a little longer communication if they desire. Okay, and ordered by call sign, I have Kilowatt 8 India Sierra Sierra. John, any traffic for the net?
W8 ISS, no traffic.
Thank you. Kilo 8 Papa India November. Dirk, any traffic?
No traffic for the net. KPIN back to net control.
Thank you. Kilo Alpha 8 Mike November Tango. Tom, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good tonight, Dale, no problems, and I have no traffic at this point.
Okay, Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Romeo Kilo. Ted, how are you?
Good deal, Dale. KBPRK, and I do have a little bit of traffic of interest, but it can wait till, I don't know how your protocol is, if you do it now or wait till the end. I'll let you handle it there. KBPRK.
We'll catch you on the second go-around. Usually the first go-around is any real brief announcements or anything. Second go-around is longer form. We don't care how long it is, as long as the repeater does the timeout. Next on the list is Kilo Fox 8, Uniform November. Byron, any traffic?
Fade you in.
You were broken. Got about 2 syllables. Try again.
No traffic, thank you.
All right, thank you, Byron. Kilo Golf 8, Romeo Yankee. Jerry, any traffic?
Dale and everybody, good evening. Yeah, I'll have a word the second go round.
Got you down. November 8, Papa Whiskey. Bill, how you doing?
Good evening, Dale and everybody. I will have some traffic later about the Hall of Fame Special Event Station. This is N8PW.
Good. Last on the list is Whiskey Delta 8, Mike Bravo Oscar. Fred, any traffic, sir?
No traffic for the net, over.
Thank you, Fred. Okay, we'll pause for any late check-ins. Jim, good evening. I had to hesitate. I didn't have you on my list for previous check-ins for the last couple of weeks. So any traffic for the net tonight, Jim?
First time I've checked into it.
Okay, any brief traffic tonight, Jim?
No traffic tonight.
All right, thank you. Any other late check-ins? Looking for late check-ins, please call Whiskey 8 Alpha Lima.
You, Perry.
November 8, Victor X-Ray Quebec. Perry, do you have any traffic on the first go-around, sir? Okay, nothing heard. Any other late check-ins? Late check-ins for the W8AL informal Wednesday night net.
W8JKC with additional.
All right, Justin, if it's brief, go right ahead. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the second go-around.
Just a check-in, Dale. WD8IPE, Herb from George, I believe.
Oh, very good. Good evening, Herb. Guess you're monitoring on Facebook or one of the internet feeds, so nice to have you here. Any other check-ins? Okie dokie, I had 2 at last count, people with additional traffic for the net. In order of call sign, I'll go with Jerry, Kilo Golf 8, Romeo Yankee. Jerry, it's all yours, sir.
Well, I thought we were going to have some excitement today with the space launch, but it appears that we didn't have the weather right. I definitely want them to get the weather right before they light the fuse on the bottom of that thing. Very excited for Saturday to hopefully see these 2 men lifted up into space from our soil. First time since 2011. What a nice thing it is for America to be back in this particular spot, because I believe that the leadership in space belongs to us. I had a chance last night to attend a meeting that was sponsored by the Weather Service. This was actually for a place called Wilmington, which is by Delaware, I guess, in Ohio here. But it was for the storm watch or the sky watch, and it was the spotter class. And my question for the net, Dale, tonight is this. Now, what what do we do? I went through the course from Wilmington, and I did graduate, and I have my card, which they send you over the computer now, and you just print out. But I'll have to get hooked up somehow with Northeast Ohio because they want you in the area, and this makes sense county-wise, where you would be of service. So I'll leave that out there. Hopefully somebody will have an answer for that. Other than that, break. Got the vertical up this weekend and basically talked to the entire free world. I thought for some reason the wire antenna was going to be preferable for doing DX originally, and that has not been the case for me. I had quite a bit of trouble. I did make some connections with the wire, but they were far and few between. But this vertical, I have talked from my home now twice to Florida. I have talked to England. In fact, the gentleman in England was kind of rude. Of course, I'm Kilo Golf 8, Romeo Yankee, and he kept calling me King George 8. That's how he referred to me. Well, King George 8, what do you? And I had to laugh. Anyway, Dale, everybody, have a great evening. Thank you for letting me talk. I'll be listening in.
Thanks, Jerry, for the report. Yeah, a little disappointed personally myself that the launch was scrubbed on account of weather, but, you know, better safe. So didn't hear if it had been rescheduled for 24 hours or what the window was. It'll be nice to see us return to having our own launch capability for sure. On the Skywarn thing, I'm going to defer to anyone who might be out there. Didn't hear Dave check in, AYE. He's usually pretty up on that stuff. So as I understand, you've got your Skywarn credentials, but they're for another district, and you'd just like to register or make yourself be known in this district. Is that correct, Gary?
Dale, that's exactly right. Thank you. And with regard to the launch, they said that the first window of opportunity will be about the same time on Saturday. Saturday will be launch day, weather permitting. And yeah, I've got my credentials, but somehow or another, I need to get hooked up with the people up here as opposed to down there. We're a long ways away from Wilmington. Over.
Roger. You know, I'm not so sure anyone in the amateur community keeps a list of all the Skywarn people. Used to be Gary Garnett. Don't know what, you know, he's an NWS fellow. I honestly don't know who runs the program up there now. It might be something you could find with a web search and then just shoot that person an email advising them. Unless other hams have a better suggestion, that's where I'll leave it.
Thank you very much, Dale. Gary Garnett. I did copy the name. And I'll be listening, especially with interest to the special event station information coming up.
Very good. It's up to you, NAPW Bill. Some new info on the HOF deal. So go ahead. It's all yours, sir.
W8AL, this is N8PW. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operators signed up so far. And I recommend that we operate on August the 7th, Saturday, or Friday, say evening time after 8 p.m. our time, and that we operate all day Saturday. That would be August 8th. And of course, the parade is August 8th, and we'll have to give you some special directions to get to our location if the parade is going on. The second date would be September 17th, 18th, and 19th, which would be the 100th anniversary. On the 17th, which is Thursday, they're going to dedicate the new monstrosity downtown. And we'll have to talk about what we want to do to operate there. But we need to pick these dates to get it into QST as soon as possible. And Jerry, a vertical antenna has a lower takeoff angle, much better for working DX unless you have the dipole very high in the air. The bands have been open 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon till about 8 or 9 to Europe. I just worked Macedonia, northern Macedonia a few minutes ago. And also, for you VHF people, 6 meters has shown some weak openings. So perhaps we will be favored with some QSOs on 6 meters. I'll stand by if anybody has any questions about the Hall of Fame enshrinement event, which is August 7th and 8th. This is N8PW.
N8PW, this is net control for W8AL. On Friday, August 7th, if I heard you wanted to begin approx 8 p.m. local and then work the following day completely. Are you saying everyone pull an all-nighter, or maybe kill it around midnight or something and start back up around 8? Any ideas on a better time, sir?
Well, Dale, I would say we will work until the band ends, and if we start at 7:30, 8 o'clock on that particular night, we'll probably be working 40 meters. Most of the contacts, of course, will generally be domestic contacts, and then we will resume at 8 o'clock Saturday morning and do the same thing Saturday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, until the bands die. If we're getting a lot of traffic, we will stay on the air. That would be my recommendation. And just to advise everybody, this repeater is a digital repeater, and it decides if you're a regular analog signal or if you're a digital signal. And it takes a few milliseconds to do that. So if you press the mic button a few seconds before you speak, you will not be cut off. Back to net control. This is N8PW.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't know that about the repeater, Bill, or probably forgot it. That's very, very interesting. So give it a quarter of a second or so, maybe more, after you mash on the key before you start talking. That would explain why some of the check-ins, I didn't catch them right away. I only got the tail end. So thanks for the explanation. I'll keep that in mind. You did answer the question on the special event station. Sounds pretty typical then. Pick a start and work a bands until everything dries up. At that point, you kick back and relax or get some shut-eye and start fresh the next morning. And just follow the bands, just sort of like field day. Go where the action is. And 5 operators signed up. That's good news. You're still taking operators, I would imagine, right up to the very end. Is that correct?
Yes, Dale, that is correct. And we'd be glad to have anybody who wants to work. I'm pretty sure Byron's here and listening. He'll probably volunteer to work. He's done that in the past. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be listening out. This is N8PW.
All right. Net Control still has a question. Jumping ahead to the September 17 event, that would be the dedication of the facility down at Market Square or whatever it's called. Sorry. Did you intend to pursue some sort of a portable setup on the grounds, or would those 3 days of operation still be at the N8PW QTH? Over.
Dale, we've investigated this in the past. Several years ago, we had the idea of setting up a Don Scott Field during the game and that type of thing. And we couldn't get permission to do that. But with your influence in the city of Canton as the chief engineer at WHBC, I think it would be a good idea to operate a mobile station downtown. And we could operate, I've operated mobile downtown, especially during the 2016 park anniversary. We've operated many times at the First Ladies Museum. So there's many opportunities for that if we can get permission to do that. And if somebody can furnish power, or if we have to have a generator. That will determine what kind of output power that we could use. This is N8PW.
Hey, thanks for that hot potato, sir. I'm not so sure NFL or HOF people are aware of anything we're proposing at this moment. I guess we never really asked their permission in the past. So maybe you and I could talk off net offline a little later, come up with some strategies to approach them and get their blessings to do this. I would imagine that's going to be an ultra security kind of an event, and it might be awkward to try and get something right up there where the action is. But if we could set up, within a few hundred yards of the goings on, that might be all that we're given. We'll just have to see. Okay, that's all the questions Net Control has. Any other questions about the HOF events coming up this fall for Bill? Over.
Casey.
Justin?
All right, Dale, I've got 2 things for Bill. You can mark me down for both. Both events were submitted to the league. I think it was April 26th or whatever that Wednesday was. They should be in July and August QST if I had to guess. If you could, Dale, on your sheet there, Kilo Echo 8, November Golf Zulu, Doug, via Facebook. Back to net, W8AL.
Okay, thanks, Justin, for the late check-in. Kilo Echo 8, November Golf Zulu. Yep, I see he's checked in before, so he's in again. Good evening, Doug, if you're listening. And okay, Bill, as I said, you and I, we should put our heads together and come up with a little strategy moving forward. Maybe have that ready by next week's net. Do we have any other traffic for the net? Anything anyone wants to discuss? Ham related, social activity related, just within the reasonable bounds of ham radio. Go ahead, throw out your call sign, and you will have the floor.
Kilo Echo 8, Kilo Zulu Juliet. Joe with a late check-in. No comments, no traffic.
W8PRK.
All right, Joe, got your late check-in. And Ted, sounds like you have something you want to get off your chest. Go right ahead, sir.
God, talking to the man with a ton of influence down in the Canton area. Oh, yeah, W8PRK here. I'm up here in north of Uniontown, for anybody that's not familiar with my voice, up here in Springfield Township. But I've been involved with the Hall of Fame Grand Parade, working that for probably a dozen years now. And so I'm listening intently on the special event station stuff. Pretty cool stuff. And Jerry, when he chimed in, mentioned about the failed liftoff attempt today because of the weather down there at the Cape. I was a little bit disappointed about that too, because I knew all the major networks are going to carry that live, just like they used to do during Apollo and Gemini and Mercury and a few of the shuttles. Yeah, and we haven't had American astronaut lift off American soil since the last shuttle flight back in 2011, when that program got canceled. That's National Hurricane Center down there is going to do their annual ham radio test at the radio station inside the National Hurricane Center. It's going to be from 9 o'clock in the morning this Saturday till 4 o'clock p.m. And they're going to be working on the bands 40 and 20. On 40, they'll be on 72, 68. And on 20, they'll be on 14.325. And they're taking all check-ins. They do that every year just before the official start of hurricane season, which starts this Monday, June 1st. the Saturday closest to it before it. So something to think about trying to check into Saturday.
Very good. It's always interesting to listen to those guys when later in the summer when the hurricanes start rolling.
CARC here. I think we lost the repeater for a little bit there.
Long-winded and timed it out.
Is the net still on?
Oh, okay. Well, might have gone too long. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, the net is closed unless anyone has any further traffic. The floor is open for anyone with further traffic. If not, I will be standing down. I'll be monitoring, but clear. For W8AL, this is net control, November X-ray, A Juliet.
N8PW.
No, I wanted to throw my hat in the ring for the special event. For field day and for the Boy Scouts thing if it goes on this year.
Great. Okay, heard you, Bill. And the last station, you doubled just a little bit. You wanted to throw your hat in the ring. Call sign, please.
Kilo 8, Papa India, November. I do have the grand parade for Hall of Fame, so I have to do that.
Okay. Kilo 8, Papa India, November. Bill, I don't know if he's already on your sign-in list. It sounds like he just added himself, and added himself as well to the Tuscazor thing in October. That would be the third weekend in October. Is Radio Merit Badge Day at Camp Tuscazor, and my hunch right now is that will go on. Tuscazor is semi-open at this point under some restrictions, and since it's not a BSA property, it's run by a different organization, and they can sort of establish their own rules that are separate from the BSA rules. So we are proceeding as if that event is going to happen. So I got you down, Dirk. Let's see, I'll try and dig up your email somewhere, well, through the club or through QST, and put you on the notification list. Thank you.
It's KAPIN1@gmail.
That's easy enough. Kilo 8 pin 1, the number 1 at gmail.com. Thank you, Kirk. Hey, Bill, you threw out your call sign. Any other messages?
Yes, Dale, just briefly. And Dirk, I'm about 2 blocks off the parade route at 21st and Harvard, maybe 3 blocks. Let everybody know this weekend is the CQ Magazine WPX contest, starting at 8 o'clock Friday night, running till 8 o'clock Sunday. Those boys in the Hurricane Center may have a hard time finding a clear frequency. I would encourage anybody to operate that contest who wants to. You can operate Morse code, you can operate phone, you can operate digital, you can operate phone and CW, whatever. So, but that's a great contest. The multiplier is the prefix of the station you're working. And you multiply that also by the number of stations you've made contact with, and then times the number of countries that you've made contact with. Everybody have a good weekend. This is N8PW.
QM.
Ending in QM.
Took first place in 8LAN 1 year, and I'm not that great an operator.
Key up and then give it a half of a second or so before you start talking. The first part of your transmission was clipped. Please repeat, Byron. Go.
Okay, yes. That WPX is, the competition is not so severe. I took first place in 8LAN 1 year and with a partner, and I didn't have that much, not much of a station. I just operated from W8MP for the day.
All right, thank you for that input, Byron. Do we have any other traffic for the net before we close tonight?
K8ISS.
Okay, John, go right ahead, sir.
Well, I've got my field day station all set up here, and just the way it's going to be. And I haven't tried it out yet. I just finished setting it up. I'm going to wait till tomorrow and power it up and make some contacts with it, make sure everything works. I do have to change oil in my generator yet, and then test run it. And that goes all well, I'm ready for field day. Go ahead.
Excellent. Well, we have one more official meeting before field day. That's probably, it's not going to be enough to get all the things nailed down. So we will start publishing the plans and how it's going to happen and who's signed up for what, and get that out to all club members. So we'll just have to sort of build our plans via email, unfortunately, and then maybe the last meeting before field day, the last on-the-air meeting, assuming that we're still locked out of the EOC. We'll go over those plans and schedule times to meet at the Dearman Farm and make it happen.
Okay, Dale, it sounds like a winner. That's all I've got. Back to you. This is K8ISS.
Okay, K8ISS, thank you, John. Okay, this is W8AL, net control. Any other traffic for the net?
Okay, Casey.
Go ahead, Justin.
Dale, maybe in the next week or two here, make contact with Tim over there at the EOC. If we can't have our June meetings there, at least one of us can get in there and get our equipment for field day here. WHAKC.
Yes, good point. Certainly the 7300, and may as well pick up the 706 and the power supplies for same radios, or power supply, I should say. Do we need to get any of the VHF, UHF gear out of the EOC?
Not to my knowledge, but remember last year's policy change. We have to leave one. Okay, time out again. We have to leave one fully functional HF station there. So if you take the 7300 or the 706, it has to stay.
Roger, Roger. Thanks for bringing that back to my memory. Either, well, 706 or another working HF rig. So we'll make sure that there's a capability there if we pull our rig out. Assuming we do get to pull our rig out, who knows? It could be some time till we're allowed back in to return it. We just don't know. I do need to talk with Tim about that and see what the status is. Thanks for bringing that up, Justin. Any other traffic for the net?
Out in a small group, I have a 706 that's portable. HUN.
Okay, Byron, appreciate that. Extra radios always are useful, and I do remember you used your radio one year when we did the 6-meter station. All right, last call for traffic for the net before we close up. Any other traffic for the net? This is Net Control W8AL. Okay, hearing nothing, we'll close her down for this week, guys. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. Made it about 45 minutes tonight. We'll look for you again in 1 week, next Wednesday at 7:30. So for the W8AL Weekly Net, this is your net controller, November X-ray 8 Juliet. We'll be clear but monitoring, 73.
CSL, TV, CRK.